Hello Internet, welcome back to another episode of Xenoblade Chronicles Future Connected. In the last episode, we viewed all of the remaining quiet moments on the Bionis shoulder. This time, we're going to be heading to Alcamoth for the final time to defeat the Fog King. Let's go. This visit to Alcamoth, on the outside, is identical to every previous visit, because there's technically no way for them to make this area harder at this point, because it needs to be at a static difficulty, since you still have a few quests in here that you, could have just held off on doing. Specifically the Pond Spectre quest for Dry. So nothing in here should pose much of a threat to you if you've done all the side quests, except for that. This is the guard to the Imperial Palace, the Kyle Lexos, I guess. You don't have to fight this thing. You can just walk right past it. But this is a rite of passage for me. I have to do. I didn't even get the burst affinity. I'm just really confident, I guess. One thing I can say is, though Melia is by far the best party member, well, the most story-relevant party member, I would not at all recommend Melia being the character that you go into the final area with. At least not the final boss. Just because her arts take a very long time to actually get the best effect out of, because you have to summon all the elementals and then, fire them off. Her arts are very good against certain parts of the final boss. However, just because they take so long to activate, at the very least you should not be playing as Melia. Shulk is by far the character you should absolutely be playing as the most, just because that gives you full control over when Monado armor is used. Here's something else that actually, that hints at the Bionis being the initial attacker. You can see here, the Mechanis... Wait, actually, no. But this is an example of how the Homs genuinely had no idea, and just the people of Bionis in general. You can see that the Mechanis is, very clearly stabbing the Bionis here, even though we know that's not what happened. But that would have been something for me to talk about in the main series. There is one final quiet moment. And it is between Shulk and Melia. The future is ours.
Not long now, father, brother. With these two hands of mine, I will reclaim Alcamoth.
Hey, Melia, are you nervous?
Do not worry, Shulk. I'm just a little heightened. Trembling with excitement, as Dumban might say.
That's good to hear. I suppose it's no great wonder, though.
How about yourself? You've been given a big role to play. Taking it in your stride as usual.
Well, I've been remembering our time on the Bionis shoulder. It hasn't been easy. But we found the refugees here. Got to know Teelan and so on. I'm glad we came.
I see.
If we can retake the capital, and then get ourselves back to Colony 9, that'll be us sorted.
Sorted? Huh?
That's right. We're just about there now. We've got this, you know.
I'm sure.
What's wrong?
Say, Shulk. Tell me, what are your thoughts on the rift?
Right. Considering everything we've seen so far, we don't really know all that much about it. I've never seen anything like it. The Fog King, I mean. It's alien to the Bionis and Mechonis.
Indeed. The rift is a complete and utter enigma to us. All we know for certain is that its existence poses danger. A wholly new threat for a wholly new world.
Sounds ominous.
Are my fears unfounded?
To be fair, there's a lot about this world that's different. Frankly, it's anyone's guess right now. Does it bother you? The rift, I mean.
I have an ill premonition.
Oh?
Disaster. Complete ruin. Inescapably looming over our future. I know not why, but that is the vague dread that I feel when I consider the rift.
Hey now.
I'm sorry. I know we have a big task ahead. I'll try to keep my chin up.
It's okay. Your misgivings may just be a weird hunch. Or for all we know, they might come true tomorrow. But there's plenty more we don't know. The future. No one knows it for certain. Still, that doesn't mean we're entirely helpless. Our actions, they're what shapes the future. We've proven that countless times already. So I think we'll get through this. If we stand together, no power in the world can stand against us.
Shulk. I swear, you never change.
Oh, sorry. I guess I might have gone a bit overboard.
No, I don't think that's possible. I think your words have hit the mark exactly. The future is ours, and it is decided here. All we can do is give our all to build a better one. Indeed, whatever awaits ahead. I seem to be in your debt again. You keep doing this, always helping me when I'm down.
I didn't really do anything, though. I'm just happy I could lift you up.
My thanks. All right, then. We have crucial work to do.
Defeat the Fog King and restore Alcamoth, right?
Exactly right. Shall we?
Before we head forward, I'm so sorry, Shulk. You've been wearing this edgy equipment for so long. We're switching him back to the default because as much as I love the black, like, stylistically, this is just more Shulk. I've been thinking about it more this recording session than any of my other ones. Shulk he's just not an all-black type of guy. It just feels wrong to have him that way. Before we head on to the final area, I would highly recommend, obviously, topple resist and debuff resist, as well as anything that can give you immunity to those things, which I guess would just be a large amount of any of them. However, unfortunately, all of those types of items are exclusively equipment gems. You cannot put these in your weapons. You can only put these in your equipment. So all this topple resist that we've gotten, we can't use that except on Melia because of the Nerthus Crown. And that Nerthus Crown is a genuine reason you might want to take Melia into here. I would not fault you for that at all. Because that is by far the best piece of armor in the game, and that slot, if you give it topple resist or debuff resist, mostly topple resist, is very helpful for what's ahead. We are about to face a boss that can inflict topple for a very long time. On top of that, obviously the Meteor Staff is Melia's best weapon in terms of damage. However, the Dusk Staff can have up to 3 slots, so it might be a better choice to use this. I'm not going to be using Melia, so I'm not going to bother putting things in the slots. I'm only not using Melia because I'd prefer to use Shulk just so I have control over armor, and I want Kino and Nene for healing and tanking. As for Kino, the sapling stuff is probably your best bet for him because it gives him Ether Up. And for his weapon, probably the Jumbo Fruit Shot, judging by that. If you have any Ether Up equipment, I would give him that, so you can get it as high up as you can. And obviously that Heat Sink gem that we got from that Giant's chest is very, very good for Kino. And for Nene... For Nene, I'm going to go with the Snug Hug blocker. It's 740 max auto attack, which isn't awful, and it also has 3 gem slots, which, again, is not awful. If you're going to go with any gems to up your defense in these weapons, I would go with, well, actually, never mind, because you can't do that in weapons. Actually, yes, you can, because Ether Defense Up 4 would work. Ether Defense Up is by far the one you should focus on the most if you're going to be giving any defensive-based gems to characters in their weapons. We don't really have to worry about that with Nene since we have all this Jubilant stuff. We are going to be facing a boss that primarily focuses on using Ether-based attacks. We don't need our Ether Defense that high. We're in casual mode. I'm going to give Nene Strength Up as well, just because she's a carbon copy of Rhine. And for Shulk, I'll go ahead and give him Ether Defense Up 4, and I'll give him Auto Attack Stealth 4, so he draws less aggro. With that, that's all the preparations I wanted to make. I'm going to let you know now, if you do not have all the Pond Specters and are not at least level 70, well, I'd say level 75 actually, you cannot do this, even in casual mode. You will not win. How do I know? Because that's how I tried this the first time. I also need to get Melia out of the party because it will not let us rearrange our party past this point. Yeah, you need all the Pond Specters, you need to be level 75, at least. Because I was not, and I did not have all of them on my first attempt, and I died. Didn't on my second attempt, and I died. Didn't on my third attempt, so I died. Then I switched to casual mode, made a 4th attempt, and I died. It's extremely important that you actually get all the Pond Specters at the very least, and doing all the quests is helpful as well. Past this point, you will not be able to go back or save the game, and falling in battle will return you to the title screen. It is recommended to save before continuing. Are you prepared? Hold on. I forgot to save. If you save, it sends you back to the title screen, and if you don't have a save point that's at this point, you're screwed. Usually would not save in a recording, but I'm pretty confident everything will be fine here. Let's go.
Kingle, fog, right here! Fog King looking awfully foggy today.
I would guess it correlates with the widening of the rift.
It changes nothing. The time is now.
Miss Melly, it's working!
Yes, now then.
Melia, let's go!
My friends, lend me your strength. The future belongs to us.
Kingle Fog will no name of Hero Bomb Kino! Monster in for proper bashing!
The Fog King actually gets Zanza the Divine to play for its boss theme. It's a little disappointing that it doesn't get its own, but that's fine. I recommend dealing with these Fog Knights first. They are susceptible to break, so you can topple them quite easily, which makes them easier to deal with. I recommend taking them down. They don't actually give him any buffs, but they do make it so you have extra chip damage coming in from the side. You should also use Monado armor. Don't forget to do that. We have that thing daze locked, actually. As for the Fog King itself, it's really just a regular monster. I am not going to waste a Union Strike on this thing. Trust me, on this first phase, you should not use a Union Strike. It's using Internal Burst, which I believe is this phase's most powerful art. Where is Kino? I want to encourage him. He's all the way back here. Good for him. He's doing well. So on this first phase, the Fog King is level 76. Spoilers, the final boss of a Xenoblade game has 2 phases. Who would have thunk it? So yeah, he's level 76.
Success! King of Fog, white dust! And kindly never to come back.
Shulk, what's wrong?
The sky.
The rift is expanding.
Mama, something not right. Foggy fluffies all coming together. Foggy, not take no for answer.
What is the meaning of this?
It must be drawing its strength from the rift. And now it's even bigger.
In other words, if we could close the rift, we might have a chance.
It's possible. But first, let's do all that we can here.
You're right.
This is all over Kino's head. What does Hero-Pun fight against impossible odds is natural like breathing. Fine then, time to dish out extra mega circular fishy bashy with cherry on top.
This second phase sucks. Again, focus the Fog Knights first. However, make sure to use armor. Oh my god. He has a topple art that topples the entire party for 20 seconds. That's ridiculous. That's 20 seconds where you can't do anything and he can easily destroy all of your party. This is why I recommended having topple resist gems. He's using Mist Press. That's the one. Okay, well, we might lose here. Oh no! Oh god. There's that massive debuff that he just gave us. Convergence Beam. Okay, we're up. Using a Union Strike in this fight can save your ass. Not only because Blue Caress can give you regeneration and debuff immunity, but because Red Comet can do so much damage, and you can daze it with Yellow Chaos, I believe. I actually don't know if it can be dazed. I want to go with Blue Caress for that debuff immunity right now.
Spectres, heed my call.
Yeah, there we go. We have Regenerate and Debuff immunity now. If you use that with clever timing, you can completely avoid taking damage from certain things. On top of using Union Strikes, well, at the very beginning of the battle, when that you've stored up from the first phase, you should absolutely have enough time in this boss fight in order to work up more than one. Also incredibly important that I focus on using Monado armor. I know I already said that, I'm more just reminding myself here. Something interesting about the Fog King is in his first stage, he is very, very similar in design to an enemy type in Xenoblade Chronicles 2 called a Goldo. More specifically, the Inferno Goldo. Or Infernal Goldo, I mean. I'm not going to go into any specifics on that because there are spoilers. I might make a bonus video after I do a second and a half Let's Play of Xenoblade Chronicles 2. But for now, I want to leave that alone. But one thing that's important to note is that Future Connected is largely seen by the Xenoblade fanbase as sort of a hint at Xenoblade Chronicles 3. We don't know exactly what it means, but it's probably hinting at something in Xenoblade 3. Let's finish this with the Pond Spectre's Red Comet.
Perspectives, do it now!
We never! Find treasure! One spectre till we die!
No use! It keep happening! What are we supposed to do now?
Don't give up, no matter how many times it returns. We can bring it down just the same. Our future must be kept safe. What? Telethia? Why? What? What on Bionis?
Melia, for whatever reason, those explosions seem to be distorting and destabilizing the rift.
Incredible. They saved us. Fine. Time to finish this. Please, buy me some time. Grant me your strength, friends.
King of Fog is dethroned! Big win for good guys!
The future is safe. Finally.
It is.
This is genuinely the ending that this game always deserved, just Melia smiling. They fucked over Melia so bad in the first game. So they decided to just give her basically an entire game of her own. And I still didn't play as her for the final boss. Thank you for watching Xenoblade Chronicles Future Connected. I think that Future Connected has a lot more going for it than it's given a lot of credit for. I don't really see people talk about it much. You can see a lot of things that happen after the game here, like everybody having a reunion there. This game does so much right. It just feels like an epilogue, which it's supposed to. And if it is hinting to Xenoblade Chronicles 3 or Xenoblade Chronicles Warriors or whatever, I look forward to that. There's a lot of interesting potential plot related to the Fog Beasts, because if that happens on a larger scale in Shulk's New World, they don't have anything to defend against it. They don't have the Monado. Alvis seemingly disappeared, and that could very well be but why those rifts are opening in the first place. I think there's a lot of interesting stuff they could do if they decide to continue the plot of Xenoblade in this world specifically. Because Xenoblade Chronicles 2 had a very happy ending on its own. We don't really need a sequel to that. I just think there's so much potential for the world of Xenoblade Chronicles 1 past here, though. It's just... there's so much to do. As for people I want to thank, firstly, I want to thank Nox, specifically because, he almost helped me find a font that I needed.
They're waiting for you, Melia.
Does this world need a coronation? I just don't see the point.
Don't say that. It is the will of the people. It will mark the birth of a new era.
You'd also have been a fine choice.
Yes, well, I'm occupied with my research, as you know, Empress Melia.
Don't mock me.
Here we go.
Yes.